What's going on, guys? Pete Nova here with the Face Off Sports Network. Uh, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, depending on where you are in the United States or if you are watching this outside of the U.S. But yeah, we are going to go over some DFS plays today, going to build out a couple of lineups, also go over some start-sit questions as you guys kind of come into the show and ask them. We'll kind of go through some of that as well. We got college football on at the moment. Going to talk about some injuries, some values I see this week in DFS, build out some lineups, right? Like I said, and I'll answer any questions you might have about start sits or whatever have you. But let's go ahead and share the screen here. And I don't love this one. So let me scroll down. I think it's this one that I wanted. No, this one. I think that should be good for you guys. Don't like that one. Let's go with this one. That's cool. Perfect. Awesome. All right. We'll start off with the start set question just to kick things off. Abel said Egbuka, Mike Evans, Jordan Mason, Jameson, Williams, pick 3. Yeah, I think Mike Evans is going to be covered by Sauce Gardner. I'm still going to start Mike Evans in this one. I'll start Jordan Mason and I'll start Jameson Williams just to not double up on Egbuka and Evans. But I would go that way. I'm still starting Egbuka in some places for sure. And I happen to think Evans is going to get the tougher matchup, of course, with Sauce. And Egbuka could have a better day, but I'm definitely going to start JMO and Jordan Mason and then just flip a coin and pick between the two of Evans and Egbuka. Evans has looked really good, even though Egbuka has gotten to the end zone and been more fantasy relevant so far. Mark said Butte, Mooney, or Fannin Jr. I'm definitely not starting Butte. Mooney is interesting. They're running a lot of one tight end sets out there for the Falcons. He's coming back, still working his way back from that shoulder injury. I have him at wide receiver 47 in my rankings behind Alec Ayumanor and Quentin Johnston. I would be interested maybe to start Fannin over Mooney. But I think I'm probably going to go with Mooney, who gets a pretty soft matchup in the Carolina secondary. Dustin said, "What's going on? What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?" I said, "Hit that like button. It's free." Yes, sir. Appreciate that. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead over there to Dynasty Rewind. Dustin does good content for them over there. So if you're not already, make sure you do so. And yeah, let's check out some of this DFS stuff. So I'm going to pop around kind of with my screens here. So today I'm going to be showing you, I'm using Player Profiler's, DFS Dominator as a way to kind of pull values when it comes to, different DFS lineups. Right now, if you go into Player Profiler, you can kind of go through the settings here and kind of look for upside, projections, specifics that you're looking for, chalk, which essentially is just like looking for lower rostered players maybe. So I try to go medium there just because I don't want to. I mean, you want variation to win big tournaments. If you're maybe in like a smaller friend league where it's like a 14, 15 man in DFS, like I'm okay with not going super, super unique and just trying to put the best. But if you're going into a tournament, you're going to want some uniqueness in those. For stacks, I definitely want some stacking, but I'm going to put that down here to the 0 marker just because some of these cheaper quarterbacks, I'm okay without stacking them, especially if they're really cheap. Like if you want to go the Marcus Mariota route, I'm okay with not stacking them. I actually hate how the screen looks right now, so I apologize for that. Let's see. Let me go like this. I think that's a little better. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking at here, though. Give you a better picture. Allow running back stack, allow tight end stack. Yep, that's fine. Quarterback stacks, running back stacks, and then pretty much here, you pretty much can pick a couple of players. Now, this is the lineup genius. It will spit out a couple of lineups, and then it sorts by salary. That's what I like to do at least first to just see. I happen to really like Michael Penix Jr. this week against Carolina. I have him as a top 15 play. I think he's got good, strong upside. And if you go into the upside finder here into where is it? So I'm going to switch back over here to this tab. So if you go into the upside finder here for player profiler, you can see. And so what I'll do is I'm going to go to the quarterback position. And let's just kind of take a look at what their upside looks like here. So per upside projection, let's just take a look for Penix and let's see where Penix is at. Penix takes on Carolina. I think that's a pretty good matchup for him. So upside here for Penix, right? He's outside the top 15 in terms of total upside and in terms of the ceiling, which makes sense, just given the fact that they could be playing ahead in this one, and so there's a chance that maybe Carolina falls behind and they're not they're not in need of airing out the football. I still don't mind it though, especially given the fact that you're talking about. I mean, his upside is similar to guys ahead of him that are priced more expensively. Outside of Love is a little more expensive. Daniel Jones is actually cheaper. Um, Baker Mayfield is 1 point ahead on the upside. So I don't mind going the cheap route. I think Marcus Mariota is the most interesting guy here. And I'm going to probably try to stack like Marcus Mariota, Bo Nix, and probably Michael Penix. Those are the three quarterbacks I'm going to look for stacking in this one. So let's go back over to the lineup genius here for player profiler. And let's just for shits and giggles, let's do Marcus Mariota first. Let's try that one. I don't mind. I don't care for stacking Mariota too much. I'm gonna go with Debo because I really really like Debo this week. So I'll stack Debo. I'm not really super interested in some of these other stacks. Um, yeah, I don't care too much about some of the other stacks. I mean, you could stack some players in this game, but ultimately, I'm not gonna look for any other stacks outside of that. So let's just create that because I'm not forcing stacks with Mariota outside of Debo. I'm not looking to stack the entire team here. So with getting a cheap player like Mariota, these are some of the lineups that we're gonna see, right? So you get Christian McCaffrey, most highest upside player on the week at 33.5 points. You get Lamb, you get Debo, you get Tyler Warren, who I have as a top 5 guy who's priced really cheap this week still. I'm going to try to take advantage of Tyler Warren's cost like as much as possible with them kind of, pricing him out they have. I mean, you're talking about 15.1 points and Debo's projected at 14.5 and he's $2,000 less. So I don't mind this lineup. Let's see what other ones they generated. So this one has Swift in it over Pollard. I think that's the only variation and change there. Um, Jalen Warren, I happen to like better than those options. So I think I would prefer that. But then you get Kenneth Walker kicked out of the lineup there. Um, so let's see. What else do we have here? So let's switch over to DraftKings. So now I'm going to switch over here. Let's go to Mariota. Let's see, Marcus. Okay. I don't even know what the entry is in this one. Oh, this is like a free entry. Let's go to regular contest first here. Hang on. Let's see. What do we have here? Okay. Let's go to lobby. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit contest. All right, so let's just start off nice and easy here with a $3. Just 20 entry max, which I like. And some of these, people can punch in like 100 lineups, which is ridiculous. I don't want to be playing in some of those. I do see some questions here, guys. So let me answer some of these real quick. Banks said pick one for this week and for the rest of the season. Denver Chargers, DST plan to hold some for some weeks. Yeah, I'm still going to go with Denver. I think they have the better defense than the Chargers. This is not a slight on the Chargers. They were in my top 5 for seasonal rankings. And I still like both. I don't love both this week, but I would prefer Denver. Would you trade Jamison Williams, Evans for Chase, Mixon, and Mooney? I mean, I don't really want Mixon. If you can get a better asset than Mixon, I would prefer it. If he's just kind of a throw-in that you're getting for free, okay. But yeah, I mean, you're getting Chase here. That's the best piece in the deal still. I view Chase still higher than Evans and much higher than JMO. So I would do that deal. I'd be interested. I wouldn't want to burn the trade completely if you're asking for better than Mixon. If you can get them to scrap Mixon and maybe give you somebody better than Mooney, I'd feel a lot better. But I would be fine trading JMO and Evans to get Jamar Chase. And I like Mike Evans a lot this year. Still a little concerned about JMO's volume at all overall. Mike said two quarterback league, Mariota or Russell Wilson. Um, so in my quarterbacks rankings for the week, I have Mariota. Well, actually, I don't even have Mariota displayed in the rankings because my it hasn't updated because he just finally because Jaden Daniels got ruled out. Russ is my quarterback 25. I'm rolling out with Mariota over Russ. I'll take the risk and the chance there. Kevin said, "Yo, what's up, man? PPR flex, Strange, Naylor, Shepard. If Igbuka's ruled out, Igbuka's ruled in, so you're good there. Well, he's trending to play, is what they said, which I don't. Unless there's a major setback, I don't expect him to be out. Zacchaeus or Burden, yeah, I would go with Strange. Naylor has a chance to maybe have a pop, but I would go with Strange. Ocean said, I have rostered tight ends, Okonkwo, Schultz. Should I drop one and pick up Likely? If so, who to drop? I think Schultz is the safest out of him and Chig. But if you're going to pick up if you're going to pick up Likely, I would drop Chig and I would roll with Schultz because he's safer and Likely has a higher ceiling but a lower floor. If you're rostering Likely and Okonkwo, you're not really getting much of a ceiling there. Also, Tucker Craft is expected to play, so that's a good sign. I needed that because I'm in a deep 14-man league and he's my only tight end. So that is great news. All right, so let's go back here to the DraftKings. So let's get Mariota in here. So let's start with him first. Um, Let's go, Christian McCaffrey. Now, do you think there's a lot of really good values on the slate here at the running back position? I happen to really like Swift. So if Swift gets ruled in, I don't want to have to go change all these lineups, but I happen to like Jalen Warren and Swift a lot. So we'll roll with that. And then at the wide receiver position, I did say I wanted Debo. So let's roll with Debo Samuel. Where is he? I thought I just saw Debo. Yeah, so let's roll with Debo Samuel. And then for another wide receiver, I happen to like Tet this week. So let's roll with Tet. And then I don't even mind rolling with Roma Dunze, um, who I have really high as well. And he's very cheap. So we have 1,500 left in our salary. So we have a decent amount to work with here. Let's go with Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren, fantasy points per game, 13.4 this year. He's only priced here at 4,400. He is going to play tomorrow. I know there was a little heel or foot injury or toe injury, whatever have you. So he should be good to go and to play. Albert, what's up, buddy? So I'm going to roll with this is the lineup so far I'm going to roll with. Let's head over to the back to player profiler here and look at some of these. So let's see. Check out their value finder. So they have Marcus Mariota as the highest value. They have Jalen Warren as one of the highest values. So that's good. We don't really need value here considering we have a decent amount of money left. So let's go back here in the flex position. Again, a lot of really good priced running backs here. Let's go with Jordan Mason. And I'm not stacking a ton of games here, so that's the only concern I have. I do have yeah, I don't have any stacks in specific games, so I don't love that. I do have Debo Samuel and Mariota, but I would essentially like to stack a game. I still have 5,000 left, so we're gonna have to make some adjustment here. Um, let's go with. Is there a way I can fit in Drake London into this lineup here? Let's see. So London is priced London. Actually, you know what? I really want Nico in my lineup this week. So let's get Nico in there and let's see if there's a way that we can squeak somebody else into this lineup here. So we have Mason. Let's pop him out. Let's go with I don't love ETN this week, but just to kind of get stack in this game. And then for defenses, let's see. I'm gonna take the Commanders. I'm over budget here, so I'm gonna need to make an adjustment on that. But let's see. So for stacks in this game, we have the Mariota, we have the Debo Samuel, we get the Commanders defense. Um, Instead of Tet, maybe I go with Jacoby Myers, but I really like Jacoby. I mean, I really like Tet this week, and I keeping Samuel. I don't really want necessarily Travis Hunter. Let's see. Can we get BTJ in the lineup here or Hunter? Let's see what Hunter's price is. And I'm not in love with Hunter this week, but let's see. Okay, so if I put Hunter in the lineup, I'm stacking. I'm getting a stack. Two players in this game with Nico. hmm. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna pause there and take a look at some of these questions here. Tyrone Four said Mac Jones is currently in my lineup, but considering Mariota, better week 3 start, Mac, Mariota, Russ, Darnold, Penix, or Wentz. I happen to think that Penix is the safest play. I think Mariota is the highest upside play out of these guys, but I think Penix is safer. Um, Need one wide receiver and a flex this week. PPR, DK, McLaurin, Cup, Jalen Warren, Ja'Cory Krosky, Merritt, um, Wandale, Tony Pollard. Yeah, so I mean, I'm flexing Jalen Warren. I'm extremely high on Warren this week. And I think I'm probably flexing I don't want to flex DK and Warren on the same team. So yeah, I think I'm going McLaurin and Warren. Warren's the best player. I don't want to double correlate there with Warren and DK. Um, and Christian Gonzalez is playing in that game. So yeah, I would go with Jalen Warren and Terry McLaurin. Maybe Terry can have a bounce back this week. I'm not as high on him, but I like Jalen Warren the most, and I want him in the lineup. So Z Smitty said, "Would you trade Garrett Wilson for Marvin Harrison Jr.?" I would. I would. Scott, I know this is DFS, but if you get a chance, RB2, Mason or Pollard, go with Jordan Mason, Scott. Go with Jordan Mason. All right. So I'm okay with this. We're gonna do a couple of lineups. So I'm okay with this lineup. I have $700 left to spend. Is there a way that I can maybe bump up? I mean, let's check out the quarterbacks because I know I was high. I wanted to get Mariota in there, but is there a way that there's a quarterback that I can? No, definitely not. Mariota's $4,000. I'm not getting anybody else. Okay, let's see. Wide receivers. Let's see. Tet's at 4,900. Is there a guy that I can get in here? Let's see. Let's take Ted off. 6,600. Honestly, I could go BTJ and stack the Nico and BTJ game. BTJ hasn't been great. We all know this. But maybe squeaky wheel theory. Let's go Brian Thomas Jr. Let's go Brian Thomas Jr. here. Let's enter this lineup. Um, and I think I guess I have casino points, crowns that I could use for that. So we'll punch that in. So that's lineup number one. I'll go back over some of these lineups. Um, let's get back into. Can I get back into that same lineup contest? I mean, if anybody has any questions, consider keep shooting them in here. I'll keep answering them. Let's enter another lineup here. Let's get into the Millie. Let's try to look here. Actually, you know what? Let's go to lineups or lobbies. Sorry, I keep jumping around. Let's go to lobbies, and I want to see is there a way? Can I check to see if there's a way to find like a max entry? Like, can only have so many. Let's see. Okay, well, they're showing single entry. Okay, so let's go with the single entry here. I'm good with this $12. Yeah, let's do that. How many are in this one? 17K. All right, I like that. Let's go with this. All right, so we talked about building around Knicks, Penix, and Daniels. Let's go with Knicks now because I think that could be a high scoring game. So let's go with Knicks here. Let's go back to the player profiler. So I'll share this tab over here, and let's see. So let's go with Cash Game Optimizer, and this is players to include. So you can literally type in like I want Bo Nix. Let's just say, for the Chargers, I want Lad. Stack this game. Lad, Bo Nix. Let me take a look here at just some of the upside finder. Let's just see where Lad is projected for the week. 24.29 is the upside. He's projected for 16. Wish there was a way to do the game. Let's go Denver. Let's keyword search Denver. Okay, so Lad. Who else is in this game? Dobbins 22, Sutton 22.95, Hampton 22.45. Hampton and Dobbins is has a higher ceiling. He's been playing better than Hampton. So yeah, let's go. Let's throw Dobbins in there too. So let's throw Dobbins in here, and then let's just hit optimize. And let's see what we get. So this is what they spit out to us here. I love Jalen Warren this week. Um, let's see. All right, Bo Nix. Wonder if I hit like this X, does it throw somebody else in there? Oh, okay. I can literally just like, okay, that's cool. And now I have Pollard as like a must guy. All right, cool. JSN, I'm good with that. He's been great. Drake London's fine. Lad, I like Warren. Let me just see. Can I just make sure that I get Warren in my must-haves, and let's re-optimize this. Dustin said include Quentin Johnson. Let's see what Quentin's price is. 54, 54, 54. Let's go back to check the value finder and let's see if we can get cash game optimizer. Maybe no, it's upside finder. Let's see if we can sort this by salary. And then let's go to Quentin Johnson and let's see the guys that are priced around him. DJ Moore. I like Devonta Smith this week. Drake May, huh? How about it? 30. 30. We may have to pivot here and get a Drake May lineup in here. 30 for the ceiling is super, super high. Yeah, I think I'd rather go at Rome, who's priced lower than Quentin Johnson in that game, Dustin. But let's see. Maybe there's a way we can get QJ in here. But let's go back to did it completely crush that lineup? It probably did. So let's go Knicks. I see some questions in here, guys. I'll get to that in 1 second. So let's go share this tab now. All right, so we talked about it. So we'll do Lad. Maybe we don't do Lad. Maybe we do take a flyer on QJ. What's Keenan Allen's cost? Honestly, yeah, let's go with Keenan. 47. We'll scratch Lad. We'll scratch QJ. Let's go with JK Dobbins, who's been priced pretty cheap. So we'll get some stacks in that game. Let's continue to go with Tyler Warren because why not at $4,400? I mean, it's just too much. Yeah, the low exposure I have the only thing that stinks or is a shame with the the player profiler DFS lineup thing is they allow you to they allow you to go with, like, the non-chalk, but they don't give a projection on what they think will be low, like, they allow you to put in, like, low chalk, but they won't tell you what they think the projection for the ownership will be. I think Keenan at 4,700, even if he's highly owned, I can't imagine he's more than, like, 15, maybe 20%. At 4,700, though, um, I feel like that's a pretty good cost. I definitely need to get a Drake May lineup in because we just talked about that, and I think that's a pretty nasty, on his upside that we just talked about there. So let's talk about this. So at some of these other costs, I might wanna get Devonta Smith. Tet's at a good price. Roma Dunze, so that's what we talked about. So let's get Rome because I wanna stack that Dallas game. So let's go with Rome. Let's go with Javonte. So let's take both of those guys, and then that leaves us $1,800 for wide receiver flex in a defense. So we can get a little crazy here. So let's get CD in here for that stack in that game. We got 10K left. Let's go with the DST next so we can kind of get a feel for what we'll have. I think the Commanders are a really, really nice cost here at 3,000. How much more are we talking to bump up to some of these other tiers here? Seattle is the second highest cost. They're down some of their guys in the secondary. Um, so yeah, I'm still gonna have Seattle high. Don't get me wrong. Falcons though here at a nice value, 3,200, and then we have 6,800 left to play with. Um, I don't mind maybe once I put this next guy in, guys, I'll answer some of these questions in the chat. But in the flex, ooh, man, I'm just off on cost. Is there a way that maybe I can make some wiggle room here? Um, let's see. Is there a way I can get some wiggle room here on this? So, I mean, maybe I can get weird. I don't want to go the Bengals. I don't want to cheap out. Let's see who is it. This is let me put my thinking hat on here because who is a defense? The Texans could be very sneaky this week. Jaguars could be too. Where are the Jags? Jags are up here at 2,800. Texans at 2,700. I still like the Jags more. I mean, I still like the Texans more, but the Jags have been really good. So let's go with the Texans. Let's pull these guys out. And then do we have enough to get? I wanted Bucky. Okay, we do have enough for Bucky. Let's see the wide receivers before we do that. Nico, yes. Okay, we got enough to get Nico in the lineup. I like that a lot. We get to right now. Oh, you guys aren't even looking at my screen. I didn't even realize. Sorry about that. Um, so technically, what do we have here? So this is the lineup. We have Nix, Dobbins, Javante, Keenan. So we get some nice value with let's see. We get some nice value with Keenan, Javante, Nix, the top four, and then we're able to get CD, Nico, and Adunze, who I have all these guys like as top 15 plays this week. Um, I like that a lot, and I think Texans could be sneaky, and then you have Warren. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I actually like this lineup a lot. I know, Dustin, I saw you say that the Bucks. I didn't mind the Bucks. I was just trying to find like something that could give me a little bit cheaper cost to squeeze in an elite player. Um, so let's see now. Let's sort this out. I don't want the penny games. Oh, you know what? I think let's see. Let's go with let's try to get a bunch of lineups in here. So let's go like $3 to $5. Don't shame me. 3 to 5 and, what? Alright, I'm gonna take a slight pause, because I think somebody's at my door, so I'll be right back, guys. All right. Sorry about that. So let me answer some of these questions really quick. And then I'll get back to putting a couple more in here. Appreciate you guys waiting. Let's see. Start sit. Keeping Bill Krosky in the flex, Garrett Wilson, DK Ridley, DJ Moore. Um, so I don't know how many you can start here. Um, I'll give you my order of who I prefer here. I prefer Garrett. I prefer Metcalf, prefer DJ, and then I prefer Ridley. Um, Ridley, Kenny Moore looked solid last week against Cortland Sutton, and they did just get some other guys healthy. Irish Stripes. Let's see. Need one flex. Corey Krosky, Merritt, Trey Henderson. I'm assuming that means Hendo from the Patriots. Ridley, Pittman Jr., Fannin Jr. It's between Pittman and Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt for me. I'm not in love with the Titans secondary. I think I would go with Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt though. I think he could be in for a nice day. Let's see. Hoff is in the house. Dustin said great analysis. Appreciate it. Great analysis. Jason Poole. What is your opinion on starting Juwan Johnson over Tyler Warren this week? I'm afraid Warren will be limited and possibly only used on third downs given his dealing. I wouldn't overthink it. I would start Tyler Warren. He's a young player. I don't think they're going to want to take a chance of him getting hurt and re-injuring anything. They're 2-0. They're not in a spot where they have to win, and so he could sit in a game that they're favored. So I would be fine. I don't think Warren's going to be limited at all. SW Elbow said all good. Scott said, "Are you babysitting Hoff's dogs?" No, but they actually did drop off. Like my dog has like a special food that they drop off, and it's never like a UPS guy. It's always like some random person in a random car. Like I don't know. It's like it's whatever. It's not like a big truck that you could identify. Start three said start one, Pearsall, Hollywood, or Dobbins. I'm starting Pearsall this week if Jennings doesn't play. I like Pearsall. I do like Dobbins, but I like Pearsall. What's up, Hoff?
What up? Don't be confused. I do have a cut on my forehead, so it's not something on your screen. Don't like.
It's not ash. It's not like ash.
Because I literally just did it when the camera was on before I came in here. I was trying to pick at the screen. I was like, no, that's your forehead, you idiot. So, yeah, but saw you in here, figured I'd come in, pop in. So,
that's all good. A Manster said, got to start two Ibuka, Debo, Olave, and Ridley. I like Debo this week, Hoff. I have him as I think a top 15. I think I have him at wide receiver 14 this week. Yeah. I really like Debo this week a lot.
I like Debo too. I thought this would be the trend until Terry McLaurin gets his legs under him from holding out for as long as he did. So yeah, I like Debo here, but he's got to start two.
Yeah, I think the other one I would go with is Olave. I know Ibuka feels like the play, and maybe it is Ibuka.
Probably go Olave here, and you know how I feel about Olave, so that might be surprising. But I mean, given the fact that Ibuka's just getting back to practicing,
I'm not even worried about him being slow. I just think I don't know. I think I'd actually go with Ibuka only because it's Spencer Rattler's first game of the season on the road, and it's in Seattle, and Seattle's missing secondary pieces, but there's a chance that he looks terrible. That's my concern. Sure. That he just gets super rattled. I'm just here to spread true mess maker propaganda. Good to see you, buddy. Shield said the Chase Burrow manager 0-2 in my league sent me this offer. Chase, Kyron, Devonta for Nico, Henry, and Tet. No. Henry's a significant upgrade over Kyron to me, right? And then Nico, Chase could be looked at as even. I mean, I know Nico hasn't been great this year, but I mean, there's a world where it's like Chase is slightly better, right? So I'm good on that. And then I like Ted McMillan. Don't get me wrong, but I'm keeping the I'm going with the Nico side here because I'm assuming he's getting Chase for So I'm going with the Nico side here.
Yeah, I would go with the Nico side too. Sorry, I was just ready to strangle my dog, but I agree with everything you were saying. I would go with the Nico side.
Yeah. Okay.
What what
Um,
what 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 happened with the DFS? Did you give up on that?
no, I'm going back to it. I just wanted to answer some questions in here
All
that
right.
piled up a little bit. Yes, Warren, good to go. I don't think he's gonna be limited at all. Uh, Patricio said, "Who won this trade in my league? RJ Harvey and Koski Merritt for Dobbins." The Koski Merritt definitely. If
Yeah.
you look at him and Dobbins, maybe they're a wash. I would say I'd rather Koski Merritt, and then you're getting Harvey on top. Just as a
I
stash.
don't know why that trade happened actually.
Yeah. I mean, that
Maybe
should
somebody
be
was drunk.
at best, it should be like merit for Dobbins, but there's no RJ shouldn't even need to be added on here. RJ should be on the Dobbins side, not the Krosky Merritt side.
Right. Agreed. Yeah.
So Adrian said Devontae Smith, John Jennings, Hampton, Troy Franklin, Dobbins, and Scadaboo start one in the flex. Yeah, I'll start Devonta Smith. I think he's got a good matchup this week. I know the passing game has been stuck in the mud. I will say the Rams defense has been solid, so maybe they force them to throw the football a little bit more and open it up. So yeah, and Juwan Jennings might not play, and he's in 75% of my fast draft lineups. So sick.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Pete called me yesterday, telling me how proud he was that he had my boy in so many lineups, and I said, "You realize he hasn't practiced all week, right?" So I was kicking the pants for Peter, but yeah, I would go Devonta Smith here, and I would go starting one and flexing one. I'd probably go Troy Franklin here, but yeah,
Ooh, okay.
yeah, no bueno.
Start one. I'd start one, not start one and flex one. So you would go with
Oh,
Franklin over everybody here?
oh no, I thought he was saying start one and flex one. That's my bad. If he's
Yeah,
starting
yeah,
one flex, I go Devonta Smith. I apologize.
yeah. That's what I figured.
Troy Franklin would be my next man up then in that case.
Okay.
Apologies.
No, that's okay. Traded Cup for Olave. What do you think? I like it a lot. Olave is like I know a lot of people are on Olave saying he's a buy and it's a little scary, but the red zone targets have been there for him. I think Rattler has looked pretty good. He might not look good this week, but he's looked pretty solid. Better than what you maybe had imagined they would get at the quarterback position. So I'm good with that. I like it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. It's it's not I don't fall out of my chair over it, but yeah, it's fine. It works.
Jonathan said Higgins, Ridley, or Jamison Williams this week. I'm lower on Higgins this week. I have him at 31. I have Ridley at 29. I have JMO at 28. So I would go with Jamison Williams here. Maybe a high scoring game. It's risky, that's for sure. If you didn't want the risk, I'd go with Higgins, who I think is still going to get the volume, but I just worry that he doesn't get into the end zone.
Well, I think that's always the case when you're talking about starting Jameson Williams. Is not that it's risky, but you're in saying that you're looking for a pop.
Yeah.
With Jameson Williams. So yeah, I would go Jameson Williams here too. I mean, one of the highest, if not the highest, over under on the slate for week 3. I think it's what was like 55 and a half or 53 and a half, something like that. Whatever was up there. But yeah, no, I would go Jameson Williams here. T. Higgins as an honorable mention. I wouldn't worry completely about Browning starting this game for the Bengals. If you're, have those pass catchers.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. My thing is that I just don't know if they're going to score much. I think there's a chance
Sure.
they get in field goal range a lot and don't get into the end zone. I could
That's
be
fair.
completely wrong, but that's my thoughts.
Nah, that's fair.
Best ball on call. What's up, buddy? Appreciate it. Said he's popping in for the like. Scott said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Big Draft Energy's in here. What's up, buddy? How's it going? Adrian said, what is a non-star player that you expect to go off that would be a good buy low? Ooh, man.
Non-star player.
I don't know about maybe like go off this week,
Right.
but I think I
It's an interesting question.
I think I'm still buying low on Cedric Tillman. I mean, he's been really solid. I mean, he scored touchdown in back-to-back weeks. He's clearly a fan of Flacco. So I think
solid.
that's been pretty nice to see. So I think Tillman's still a nice option. I think it's kind of flown under the radar a little bit for Tillman, who, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Tillman's kind of lit the world on fire, but he's had back-to-back weeks with a touchdown. He's out targeting Jerry Jeudy, which is not a surprise to me if you've listened to my content. Now it's only 2 weeks, but I love Tillman at his cost all draft season. Right now, Hoff, Tillman has in 2 games, he has he's got 15 targets in the first 2 games. He's caught 7 passes, only 74 yards, but he scored a touchdown in both. So he's getting volume, right? So I'm good with that. That would be my shot. Is there anybody? Big Draft Energy says Darnell Mooney is one of his. I think Darnell is a good call too.
I like Darnell too. I dig that. I don't know if it's necessarily because it's not a non-star, I guess. But like, I just think Stephon Diggs. I
Well, he's
think the
definitely
week
a
is
non.
coming.
Oh, you
I
were
mean,
using that as a way to say that there's somebody else. Okay.
I mean, I do like Diggs here. I mean, he's ranked pretty low in terms of some of these weekly rankings here by expert consensus. But I looked at the targets per route run last week. It's slowly going up from what it was the week prior. So I do think we're going to see that eventually. I also think Matthew Golden at some point here is going to just pop out of nowhere. And all of a sudden people are just going to be running for him after they were panicking. But I do like the Darnell Mooney call for sure. I've always been a Mooney guy.
You have Diggs averaging
Yes.
6 targets a game, 5 receptions a game. Yards per target 7.42. So he's not getting much on the A dot, which what we saw last year before he got hurt, to be honest. But he's 17.6%. The concerning thing with Diggs is the snaps. He's averaging only 30 a game, and he's under 50% on the snap share. Now, you could make the case that they're easing him in.
Sure.
That could be very possible that they're easing him in. So I'm going to get to Joshua, and then I'll get to your question, Disco, in just a second. Joshua with the $5 super chat, appreciate it, man. Said in 1 PPR, 5 passing touchdown league, Superflex, Darnold or Carson Wentz, Myers or Olave for upside. I think Rattler could be slinging the ball. Thank you. Well, here's the thing. This secondary is injured, so Rattler does have a chance to sling it around. The concern I have for Rattler is more of the sacks and possibly the turnovers going into a hostile environment on the road for a young quarterback. So that's why I still like Seattle's defense, but I don't think that doesn't necessarily mean Olave is a bad start. I think overall, I still like Jacoby Myers over Olave this week, though. I think he's got a better quarterback. I know Gino looked bad last week. Commander secondary is still not very good. And Jacoby's commanding a really nice target share, Hoff. I mean, he's been. I mean, I have like no exposure to Jacoby Myers, but he's averaging 10 targets a game.
Which listen. I mean, I know some
fantasy points a game.
Some people were understandably excited about the rookies, which I get it. But I mean, Myers was still going to go ahead and get targets. So it shouldn't be completely surprising, in my opinion. I would go Myers here. And if he's going, he said Darnold or Wentz, I would go Darnold there for me. But I would go Myers over Olave. I forever and always worried about Olave. What are you going to do?
Yeah, Wentz is the higher ceiling, I think, because that could be a more competitive game. But Darnold's is much safer. And I think I would go with Darnold there too. Appreciate you the super chat, Joshua. Robert Goldman said, "Hello, gentlemen. Mike, I am playing you this week in Scott Fishbowl. Have a great show. I'm heading to the Mets game. Go Phils."
Hey, well, come on now. Don't be nice. Be nice to the guy. What are you doing? Let's go Mets go. Come on. You already got your playoff spot. You'll be fine.
I know. Atlanta or Houston's defense, Disco asks. I still have Atlanta higher than Houston. I know AJ Terrell is out, but Carolina's missing 2 players on the offensive line. They're scoring the lowest amount of points or one of the lowest amount of points out of anybody in the NFL so far. Bryce Young's had to take a lot of dropbacks, and I don't love that for an O-line that's beat up against a pass rush that's looked really good this year. And on top of all of that, you factor in that this is an offense in Carolina that hasn't led in a single game this year so far in 2 games. So, And this is an offense in Atlanta that can score points, and Carolina's defense is terrible. So I think there's a good chance Carolina, gets down early and they got to throw. Now, granted, that should be good for Tet. I'm in love with Tet this week, but I don't. People always ask me like, if I have
You're in
Tet
love with Ted.
McMillan,
You're in love with Ted this week,
I'm always in
as
love with
opposed to other weeks.
But listen, people always ask me like, "Oh, should I be worried? Should I not start this defense because I have Tet McMillan in my lineup?" And I'm always just
Got it.
like, I'd be more
Got it.
concerned if you start a quarterback against your defense. That
Sure.
would be kind of the bigger concern for me. The ancillary pieces, the running back, the wide receivers, like those are different. Like quarterback, like if you're starting a quarterback against your own defense, you're hoping the defense gets sacks and turnovers, and that's the quarterback that's going to generate those. So like that's more the concern. Tech could have 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Bryce Young could throw for 195 and have 5 sacks. You know what I mean? So I just think yeah, I know I shaved. I was getting bad, man. I had to do it. Sometimes like I was growing it out, and then
Did you not like it, or was it the wife?
I just didn't. I was tired of it. I was
Oh,
getting
you were tired.
itchy.
Okay. Because sometimes you get a little
Yeah.
poke in the side of the bed and say, "Hey, listen, I think it's time."
She actually prefers it.
Oh,
The good thing about it is it'll grow back pretty quickly. So so it should be okay. But that's my kind of my read on that game, and between the two. We did answer this. We'll get back to DFS here, but let's just answer game face. You said at flex, should I start Pollard or Sutton? I'm still gonna start Sutton. I like Pollard, but hasn't really produced in 2 solid matchups the first 2 weeks of the year. Would you recommend to ride the CMC train or trade him while his value is high? I'm not going to trade CMC. If he's healthy, he's going to be the RB1.
Toot MFers.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Let's see. Disco, I'm just laughing at his comment. We do have some questions here for start sets. Don't forget, guys, we'll be here live tomorrow morning. I do want to get back to doing some DFS. We'll get back to some of the start sets as well. So let's roll with the DFS. Me and Hoff are really small, but I'm sure you guys are okay with us not being that big.
Yeah, they don't need to see me. Plus, now they can barely see the cut of my head, so it's fine.
That's probably fair. You probably prefer that.
Yeah, it's still bothering me.
Oh, well, you know what? We're not in this business for our beauty.
Maybe I'll do some makeup tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. So my 2 lineups so far, Hoff, that I have entered. Well, we'll go over. We're gonna do the lineups at the end, so we can show. Is there a way now? Am I tripping out here? Isn't there a way that you can make it so you there's a max amount of entries that you can have showing on here before you enter contest? Like, is it in the key? Like, how?
I'm more of a mobile guy when it comes to my DraftKings, so okay. I don't know where it pops up on here. But I mean, you're asking like,
yeah, like single entry. Okay, great. Is it on? Okay, so I guess you just have to read it here. So
yeah, you just have to read it there. Yeah, and it should tell you at some point. Like if you keep entering contests, it'll tell you how many you have in there.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Yeah,
I know that. We did talk about Drake May and we talked about Michael Penix. Let's get a Drake May lineup in here because his cost at 5,300 against the Steelers is a nice value in my opinion. That defense hasn't been great this year.
5th most fantasy points allowed to quarterbacks in DFS so far.
See, there you go. So I'm going to share my screen here, Hoff, because I'm doing the player profiler. So let's get Drake May. So where is Drake May? Drake May. So, and then do we want to stack Diggs here? Do we want to, I mean, are there some cheap pieces in here that you want in this game? Matt Collins, maybe? Like a sneaky, like as just a $3,100 is like the last piece in the lineup kind of thing.
To me, if I'm stacking May, I'm doing it with either Diggs or Kayshon Boutte. I mean, I think if I'm playing a more expensive quarterback, then I like to look at like that dart throw stack at the back end,
Sure.
kind of like you're kind of alluding to. But Drake May is only sitting at like 5,300. So even if you're stacking, which I put in my my Warren Sharp DFS stacks article, even if you're stacking the two of them, it's only 10,100, which is only like 20.2% of your lineup salary. So I don't hate that. You can go cheaper and go Keyshawn Boutte. I just
What,
think
what about Hunter Henry?
you could do Hunter Henry too. That works. I mean, I
Rob
don't have
asked,
in
so I
front of
thought
me.
about it.
What's that?
Rob had asked, so I thought
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. My concern is Hunter Henry dealing with some sort of injury because he wasn't out there a ton last week.
Sure. And I'm also looking at what the Steelers allowed to tight ends the first 2 weeks. I know they've allowed plenty to wide receivers, obviously, just like quarterbacks. But
Well, Henry right now, Steelers are middle of the pack, 17th in terms of points allowed to the position.
yeah,
And is DraftKings PPR? It is,
yes,
right?
yes, it is.
That's what I thought. Okay.
11.3 on a per game basis. Yeah.
Let's
Falcons allowing 1.1 point per game to tight ends first
and
2
that
weeks.
ain't gonna change much this week either. Because I
Nope.
mean, Jatavion Sanders. I mean, so let's just figure this out here though. So do we want? I mean, we don't have. We could. The thing is this with Drake May being cheap, and I think you alluded to it. Like, I don't care. I'm honestly okay with going naked on a quarterback if
You
they're
could do it
cheap.
too.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm okay going naked on a quarterback if they're cheap. But do you like DK Metcalf this week? We could stack other pieces in the game.
God, I want to like DK Metcalf. I tried to like him the first 2 weeks. It's
Well,
just
Gonzalez is back. Christian Gonzalez is back.
yeah. I don't think I'm rolling that way.
Okay, so why don't we go? Let's just for shits, let's throw Keyshawn Boutte in there, just because while I'm not the biggest fan of him, he's been on the field the most out of these receivers, and
Yeah.
he's gotten into the end zone. So let's do that.
Higher route participation too. Just those guys are just they need a catch and a touchdown. The Patriots wide receivers, not named Stephon Diggs.
Now let's go with let's go stacks is fine there. We don't really need to force the stack with the quarterback. So let's do that. Let's generate. Let's see what we get, and then we'll move from there. All right. So we get Drake May, Christian McCaffrey, Jalen Warren, CeeDee Lamb, Juwan Jennings, who we can probably take out because there's a nice little feature here. You can hit this and it'll give you options to throw something in there. So let's keep that in mind. But before
Shout out player profiler.
Yeah, it's a good product. Yeah, so I'm high on Jalen Warren. I love CeeDee Lamb. We've been talking. I feel like everybody's going to be stacking like this Cowboys game.
Yep.
So I'm trying to get a little different.
Both teams. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So let's shift over here.
Had which I think is going to be chalky. You can continue with the shifting, but I have Dak Prescott and Pickens in my stacks article, but the more the week's gone on, the more it seems like Pickens is like the trendy name this week that everybody wants to go with.
Yeah.
In terms of popping out. So yeah. But
I'm looking at a lot of running backs this week because they're just seem so cheap. Like Jalen Warren's a top 15 player for me. Swift is in my top 20, and these guys are priced very, very affordably. What do you like Warren this week? And we get a stack in that game at least.
Yeah, I like Warren. I think he's solid. Obviously I think when you put him in there, you're expecting him to just kind of hold his own there.
I think 14-15 is in play for him this week.
Which, I mean, then you're getting close to 3 times his cost. I always like to try and get 3 times the player's cost. So, say he costs $5,000, you're looking for 15 points. Jalen Warren's 5,500, so obviously you need a little bit more. But if he's getting me somewhere within that range, then I can live with it. Which I can envision that happening with Warren. I don't hate that call.
Yeah, the chat's saying Jordan Mason, and Mason's probably going to be very high owned, but at his cost, I'm okay going with a high owned player if their cost is not high.
Sometimes it's okay with riding that wave, even if you know they're going to be highly owned, but they're so cheap.
Yeah,
that was kind of like Bill Krosky Merritt back in week 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Dylan Sampson could be an interesting one too. What is Judkins' cost? I mean, I hate the matchup, but what is Judkins' cost?
You could just
5,000.
5,000, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd rather go with Mason if I was going to do that, right?
Sure.
Chat says Tootin, Poker Guts.
Rootin', tootin', potin',
Tootin's
tootin',
interesting,
potin'.
4,900. My thing is this: if you go with Tootin, right, he's 600 less than Mason. What are the odds that he outscores Mason? And for $500 more, it's probably a better bet to go with Mason. Maybe we look at Tootin as like a flex play, right?
Yeah, I would rather go Mason, but yeah, we can
Circle back on it.
Yeah.
Wide receivers in at least player profilers, they suggested CeeDee Lamb, which I mean is not surprising, right? I mean the matchup's awesome for Lamb. I love Nico as well. I'm trying to correlate, if I could correlate stacks in the Bears and the Jacksonville game. I think that's kind of where I would be looking too. I don't know what do you think here?
I am starting to think that by the way Brian Thomas played in the first 2 weeks, he's not going to be highly owned.
Yes.
People are going to be kind of off that until he goes off. So I wouldn't mind taking a share of that.
I did double stack Thomas and Nico in my last lineup. No, which is fine. That's not to
I'm just
that I don't not to say I don't want it. But I think that's a fair point.
Right. Yeah. I like that, but outside of that game, I do like our boy Ricky Pearsall.
What about Devontae?
Yeah. No, I don't hate that call either.
I have Devontae as a top 12 wide receiver this week.
Ooh, do tell.
Yeah.
Really?
So
the dog also likes Devontae Williams.
At his cost, I have him at top 12 this week. Let's get Devontae in. Oh, not Garrett Wilson. You mentioned Ricky Pearsall. Let's get Ricky in.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. 22K left. But let's get BTJ. Your dog.
Does anybody want a dog? Does anybody want a dog? You can have him. I'll give you the address.
Let's go back to defense. Let's look for a cheaper defense here. I think I took Houston before. I don't mind taking the Texans again at 2,700. So let's do that. And then for tight end and flex, I mean, it's just so hard not to do. I know it feels chalky. It's just so hard not to do Tyler Warren at this $4,400. Just feels like.
Yeah, it's gonna be. What was his? Can you click on his name? What was his cost for the first 2 weeks for Warren?
What are we looking at 45.
Here? 45. Yeah. So 44, 45. All right. So yeah.
What about Pitts or Johnson though?
I refuse to start Pitts anywhere in my life. That's it. So.
Let's go with Juwan, and then if we have any money left over and we can squeeze Warren and we'll swap it. But we have 9,000 left, so I mean.
By the way, the Packers officially placed Jaden Reed on IR. By the way,
okay.
FYI to those, yeah.
Scott said I get my dog food Ubered.
No, I want you to take the dog. I don't want. Yeah, take the dog. Did you get dog food Uber to you? What was that?
I have a wet, like I have a farmer's dog, which is like
yes.
Shit that goes to the dog and stuff. My wife likes it for the dog, so we do it. Honestly, we could go McCaffrey. We could go with Nico and double stack that game, but then we're still leaving 2,000 on the table, which means we can also maybe make a move. Like if we went Nico and then let's just say we plucked out Jordan Mason, how much more would we need to get? We would need 1,000 more to get CMC. Yeah. Is there a receiver here that we could go cheap out on here? Like, can we drop out Adams? And
I would personally, that's where I'd go. I'd drop out Adams, get CMC in there.
Okay. And then we're at 5,200 left.
I've wasted more.
I mean, there's not. I mean, this isn't terrible either.
No,
in terms of the options here, I kind of think Pittman's kind of sneaky here.
I was literally about to say his name. That's funny.
Yeah, Pittman's kind of sneaky. Mooney's sneaky, but I just don't know if they're gonna have to throw.
We talked about Booty earlier, but again, and then we get the stack at least, with New England. But I'm just, you need one catch and one touchdown, but eventually that well's going to run
What
dry.
about Christian Kirk, man? I mean, I know it's dangerous. We're double stacking the wide receivers at the Texans position, but that game could be pretty high scoring, and he's healthy.
You know how I feel about the Texans offense, so you know my answer.
All right, so that's a no. Honestly, I'm okay with not either because that offense is like one of the lowest scoring so far. I do think that could change this week.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind Pittman. You talked about Pittman. I wouldn't mind Pittman.
Okay,
That leaves us a name when you were a little bit up there.
300 left though, and we're like so close to getting Warren in the lineup.
Okay, so
let's see, Warren, and that means we need to make up $200. Let's go to defense.
Yeah, doing the defense. And who'd you pick? I'm sorry, you had the Texans.
Yeah, this is where PD's got to make his money here.
I wanted to ask you. I didn't watch your DST video this week, except for like the first minute or two. My bad. Apologies. Bad.
The
Rams.
Rams could
what do you think of the Niners defense in general? That's what I was curious about from you.
Niners are top 12 for me this week. Mm-hmm. Cardinals offense is playing mistake-free football, but they played Carolina and they played the Saints.
Right.
Sure. Out of these, I'm seeing chat say Colts defense. I'm trying to find a defense that's available. So it's everybody Titans and below. Titans are kind of interesting. Saints defense is kind of interesting. Bengals is probably the best play, it feels like, but I can't get myself to start them. Honestly, Raiders defense is kind of stingy, but maybe if you think Mariota can not do well.
If I'm picking out of these names, honestly, I think I'd go Saints. If I'm picking out of these names, that's, predicated on me wanting to squeeze Tyler Warren into the lineup.
What do you think about? The Raiders with Mariota though. Do you think Mariota is going to be good? Are there any home? My problem is this: none of these defenses are home, and I like to find defenses that are home. Most of these are away, except Carolina, which I'm never starting them, Tennessee, and the Browns. And Browns, defense is good. The Packers have been awesome, but mainly because of their defense, not because, I don't know. My heart's telling me the Raiders.
All right, go with it. Ron agrees.
I have the Bengals, I think, higher than the Raiders, but let's go with the Raiders.
I shouldn't even be saying anything in terms of defense. This is all you. This is your
I know.
Wheelhouse.
I don't think there's any way we could really cheap out any less. I like the team though.
No, I like it too.
Let's do that. Right. Let's check the chat real quick. Let's see.
There's that cut on my forehead again. That's fucking awesome. Love that.
I don't know if some of the people that have sent questions in here are in the chat still. So if you have questions, resend them if you're still here. Aiden said Jennings, Franklin, or Pickens this week. I have George Pickens in my top 20 this week.
You said 4 Pickens or Pickens?
Oh, I think it's 4 Pickens. I would take Pickens in that deal though.
Sure. And I do like Pickens this week.
Yeah. Jets with Tampa Bay O-line injuries. Jets are kind of interesting. They've kind of fallen under the radar. Disco says Mooney for 2 touchdowns this week. I could see it. Carolina's defense is fucking terrible.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna go take a piss. Do you want to share your screen real quick and build a lineup for you?
Oh, sure. I'll take a look at something. Go ahead. You take a piss. I'll talk about it. Let me pull up the old DraftKings here. Build a lineup for you people. Let me see this. I'll go into here. Give me a second. Where's my share screen? Fancy button. And here we go. All right. So if I'm sharing my screen, I'll add that to the stage. If you give me a moment, if it lets me. Here we go. I don't know if it's going to let me. Or no, I need to remove that. There we go. There we are. That's better. Let's get the get that off the screen. Here in terms of quarterback, I'm actually gonna go with a Dak Prescott here. I believe in that stack this week. I don't care how popular it is. Dak Prescott at 5,900. He should be more. He will be more as the season goes on. If I'm taking a look at this, week 1, 6,000, then drops to 59. He's 59 again. I'll roll the dice on that. Wide receiver, I'm gonna go Pickens for now, but I don't mind if I have the bunts at the end. I don't mind switching that to CD Lamb. That's kind of how I would start this out with a stack. If I want to flesh out my wide receivers here, I'm going to go Puka Nakua against the Eagles, and then we're going to go cheap here at wide receiver. We're going to circle back on wide receiver. I want to get something cheap later on. This is what I tend to do. I tend to jump around with these DFS lineups as I'm putting them together. I don't really go like, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, flex, and then DST. I kind of like to jump around and see where everything's at, kind of piece this sucker together. I'm going to put Harold Fannin in just for the targets alone, but that's just a placeholder that can get changed quick. So we're definitely not married to that. If I'm going over to running back, let me see this here. Where was he? I do like Travis Etienne at 5,900. I don't think a lot of people are buying into that just yet, so I would take a stab on that. I mean, Etienne, if you look at those first 2 weeks, week 1, 21.6, last week, 16.9. I don't hate that, especially at the cost. Again, your goal is to try and get 3 times the player's cost. So if you could do that, then you're in good shape. So I like that. I think Peter's back from taking his PP break. Pete, how'd that go? Everything okay?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. And he's eating too, so that's good. All right. So if I'm taking a look here, where am I? Pete, how much do you hate my lineup so far? Fannin's not really in there. He's just kind of a placeholder. He's not staying there. But
zoom in a little bit. I can't really see it.
Oh, God. How's that?
That's good.
What are you eating?
Granola bar.
That's fantastic. All right. Anyway,
I have concerns. I don't love ETN. I have concerns about him this week.
I was thinking low owned, but again, we could circle back on that. Though, what I'm really married to here, I started this by going Prescott and Pickens. That's kind of, I'm at least going to have one lineup this week with that in there.
I like Swift more than I like ETN, and he's cheaper if Swift plays.
Sure.
And you get the stack in that game because you're getting another player in there.
Yeah. All right, let's plug him in. Let's see how that looks. I don't mind that. The goal here was to go a little bit cheaper at wide receiver if I have to. I don't mind getting rid of Fenn at all. Not married to it. Let me see this. If I'm circling around here, wide receiver. I know we just put him in the last one, but I don't care because I like him. I will go Pittman here. And I'm actually I will take the home run swing in DFS as my flex. I will go Kayshon Boutte. I'm going to go defense here, which means I'm probably going to take tight end out depending on what I pick defensively because I'm going to have money left on the table. 5,900 left remaining. Yeah. Falcons is everybody's on the Falcons now, so it's a little much for me. I'm still going to go with the Commanders defense. I forget where you had them ranked. If you're choking on a granola bar, take it easy.
Yeah, I have them top 10. I like them.
Okay, so there you go. All right, so I like that. If I circle back to tight end.
This guy, I don't know if you're being serious. I'm getting out of here in probably 10 minutes, but you're more than happy to welcome to join if you want.
Yeah, I'm probably getting out of here soon too.
I have a
And
birthday
actually,
party to get to.
this works out perfectly. I'd go
I'll
Prescott, McCaffrey, Swift, Pickens, Nakua, Pittman, Juwan Johnson, Kayshawn Booty, Commanders defense. That is what I built. What says you? Love it, hate it. You know what? I'm gonna enter it. There you go. That just happened. That's in there. Feel free to challenge me. Lucky Lefty 11. Feel free to send those invites. Pete, judging by your response, I think you love my team.
I haven't looked at it yet.
That's fair.
I'm trying to send Disco an invite in case he wants to join. I'm not gonna be. I got my Emily's already giving me shit because I got to change this light fixture in the house, and then we have to be at a birthday party at 4 for her.
Tell her I said
My
sick invite to the
party's
birthday party.
tomorrow.
But yeah, you got a little bit of love from Hoover there.
Good luck in your fantasy football league. Hope you lose your first game. I don't know. Am I versing you, Hoover? I don't know.
I don't know.
Dude, StreamYard does this weird thing where the screen is now getting smaller. Is that the same? Is that how it is for you? I don't really know why, but like my screen doesn't take over this entire thing.
I don't really notice a difference, to be honest.
Like
with you.
here, look at my screen.
Oh, this is great.
Look how small we are.
Oh, that is very small. Yeah, I don't know what that is all about.
Like why it keeps doing that for me. I don't really know why.
That sounds like a you problem, not a. Yeah. Cool.
So that's what I'm saying. I couldn't even really see your team.
Viewership just skyrocketed. Yeah. Where's my? Well, I can read off my team if you don't see it. Again,
go
I
for
can read off to you. It was Prescott, McCaffrey, DeAndre Swift, Puka Nakua, Pickens, Michael Pittman, Juwan Johnson, Kayshawn Boutte, and the Commanders defense was how I rolled.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Disco, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, I'll make more.
Hi, I didn't think you'd actually send me the invite. I was just joking, but it's always nice to chop it up with both of you beautiful human beings.
Yeah. Why don't we make before we get out of here? Why don't we make one more lineup and the three of us will build it together?
So, you guys definitely won't like my advice. I like to start with the tertiary options that I feel like are in smash matchups.
Okay.
And then build around that. That way, we get to maximize the pay-ups.
All right. Well, we built some lineups already. So give us who do you think we should start with then?
I think Halani is in actually a very advantageous situation. He's going to be very low owned.
The Seattle backup.
And with Charbonnet being out, and we're still anticipating some sort of split of carries, I think Halani would be an absolute smash, especially if he hits its HO.
Oh man, my bad. Sorry, I'm thinking about the podcaster.
I don't hate that. That's a good call.
All right.
Mooney's my next tertiary option, and then you guys build the rest.
Well, if we're doing Mooney, we got to put Penix in for sure.
I don't think you have to put Penix in.
Well, he's cheap. He's cheap. That's why I don't hate him. If you're assuming Mooney, I mean, do we think Carolina's going to keep this game close at all?
No. So I'm not anticipating that Carolina is going to keep the game close whatsoever. But I am anticipating that we're going to see Atlanta open up their scheme. And because I think that they're going to open up their scheme and open up their play calling, I'm also anticipating that they're going to take advantage of where Carolina's weak. And other than the running game, where they give up a significant amount of fantasy football production and just in general production in the air, is to the wide receiver too. We just saw Michael Wilson come off of his best outing as a pro thus far in his 2-year career. And I think Darnell Mooney, this is his breakout game, and I'm not betting against him. Like, I'm 60-40 Mooney or Pitts. One of those guys are going to be a smash start this week.
Yeah, I think Pitts is interesting too. The drum beat's getting a little bit louder on him, and I just traded for Pitts in a dynasty league yesterday. I traded Marquise Brown for him, which was really fucking cheap.
By the way, Big Draft Energy, this is my buddy, so I don't know how you're going to take this, but he said, this new guy's voice sounds like a serial killer's voice, and I love it. So I don't know how you want to interpret that. If it's a good thing or a bad thing.
I mean, I'm 6'8", 320 pounds. I would be the most terrifying fucking serial killer on the planet. So
that would be rough. Yeah, that'd be bad. Yeah.
All right, let's take
Yeah.
Penix out. Take Penix out.
Okay. I like the serial killer talk, but sure, let's get back to this. Let's take Penix out. All right.
Go to quarterbacks.
Yeah, I'm here.
Drake May's cost is lower than Stafford's this week. I think that's crazy. Am I
Drake
tripping?
May,
Why is Stafford higher than Drake May in cost?
probably
Because
named out.
Stafford's going to have to air it out, and when you look at the game script and what they're going to have to do, they're not going to be able to run the rock. Kyron's borderline a sittable player this week because he has been incredibly inefficient, and he's lost, the one thing that made him a plus player, which was 88% snap share. Now it's like,
And the red zone touchdown usage was high for him. I'm not saying Stafford can't be good, but if we're talking tournament, I'd rather take the guy with the high upside in May. I mean, May's not facing, in my opinion, a tough matchup, and he's at home. Stafford's got to go on the road. I like the Rams in this game. I'm taking them to cover. I may take them on the money line, honestly.
Last week was May's second only game with 20 or more fantasy points in DraftKings, by the way, which was interesting. But
and not every week is he going to be playing against the Miami secondary. That's why I'm out on May. I feel like there's a lot of situations where it's a get-right game for the Pittsburgh defense, and unfortunately it's going to happen against my New England Patriots. But with that being said, if you guys like me, I'm not there with you guys.
Who's a little cheaper than May?
I will say, by the way, I'm not saying we're picking him here, but I am going to have Browning in one of my lineups this weekend. After May, obviously Fields is out. Rodgers, Geno, Sam Darnold. Yeah,
in case my theory that Seattle's defense is bad, it doesn't end up being very good this week. Like that secondary is really beat up for Seattle. So I don't want to say go Rattler, but he's interesting. I'm not going Rattler.
I'm not. This is my account. I'm not playing Rattler on my account.
What's CJ Stroud's price? Like, where's he at in terms of ownership and price?
He was up there near. Where are you? Yeah, he was.
I don't know what his ownership is.
50. He's currently 5,500. I'm not sure what his ownership is looking like. Anybody interested in Mac Jones at all?
If I do take Mac Jones, I have to pair him up with Juwan Jennings, and Juwan Jennings is questionable. But if he does play, he's in a smash spot against a really terrible defense.
Yeah, a lot of injuries too with the Cardinals secondary.
Yeah,
I mean,
Will Johnson's out.
I think I would go Pearsall there, but if I hear good news about Jennings like prior to the game, I don't mind making that swap if I can financially swing it.
I think the one thing we can rely on with Mac Jones is he's very predictable, and he's very predictable in the sense where we know he's going to hyper-focus one wide receiver like we saw with Mac Jones. Obviously, he didn't have any wide receivers with my New England Patriots to hyper-focus. So with that being said, we saw that he favored Juwan Jennings, and Juwan Jennings kind of is that carbon copy of poor man's Brian Thomas Jr. I like Juwan Jennings and Mac Jones if I'm building any correlation off of that offense.
I like Jennings a lot if he plays this week.
Yeah, let's plug that in just with the disclaimer that we obviously know, but so the audience knows that, Jennings didn't practice this week, much if at all. So just
are you able to replace players if they're not to suit up?
You can take them out before their physical game is played. So at that point, if you had an extra, say, $500 left over, and say we hear some news about Jennings that isn't so hot, we can go Pearsall for 5,500.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
And swap out Jennings at 5,000. So you're spending 500 more.
Yeah.
So
by the way,
I have
RotoWire has their roster ownership. What didn't somebody ask about roster ownership?
I did.
Who did you want to know about?
CJ Stroud.
They're saying he's going to be rostered in 1% of leagues.
That is crazy because
they say
he's
1%.
got such a smash matchup.
The highest owned player right now projection is Jordan Mason at 23, Marcus Mariota 22.7, which isn't that surprising because he's $4,000.
He's also Marcus Mariota.
I know.
I'm willing
I get it.
I'm willing to keep Jennings tier up on CJ Stroud if it's a $500 differential for sure.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Get some sort of correlation with Nico Collins because I'm anticipating it's a nuke week and an awesome week for both of those guys.
Yeah, I love Nico, so I would love to. I'm good with stacking that too because I'm super high on Nico this
That
week.
way we get one elite there, and we can also get an elite at running back now with the budget that we have remaining.
Yeah,
So
Now, Blue said, we'll answer this real quick. Blue said, half PPR, AJ Brown, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt for Rome and James Conner. I would take the Rome side, honestly. And this is coming from somebody who really, really likes AJ Brown, liked him before the season. I have concerns. I'd rather Connor over Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt rest of the season, even though Benson's nipping in a little bit. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but I think I prefer Rome rest of the season over AJ. I know it sounds crazy, but
I don't think you're crazy, but I prefer the other side. But I mean, I get it for sure. I get the AJ Brown concerns. I just think we're gonna see better games. We're gonna see inconsistencies though, like we saw last year, which I didn't project in the offseason. I'm not gonna lie. But I'd still go AJ Brown and
do we
Bill.
think AJ's hurt at all?
No, I mean,
He had the back
big draft. What do
injury
you
in
think?
the offseason.
I think it is a slow ramp up, but it's also the scheme. It's the most predictable 2x2 like junior varsity scheme that we've seen in a really long time in the NFL. It's disgusting to see.
And that's the craziest thing too. Is like,
yeah,
I understand that like they're winning games, but to me, it's like you have all these pieces. Like I just don't understand why you wouldn't want to evolve and give your offense another layer, to the team, because if there's a world where Barkley is getting stopped and they have to throw, I mean, we saw him throw last year in the Super Bowl and a little bit in the playoffs and he looked good, but to me it's like, why not add an extra dimension, like if you can, with the amount of guys that you have there. So in conclusion, it sounds like Hoff, you say no. Disco, do you prefer the AJ side here, or do you prefer the Rome side?
Once again, even though we've seen Rome perform successfully the first 2 weeks, it's still a Russian roulette at receiver, because we're going to see, I'm anticipating a DJ Moore game, because you look at the cover 2 high shell, Dallas Cowboys play it at top 3 level, 64%. And when there is cover 2 high shell, the Chicago Bears tend to lean DJ Moore's way 30% against that kind of coverage, in comparison to 13% with all other coverages. So I'm thinking this is a DJ Moore game, and you're buying high on a certain player and selling low on a certain player. And I'd like to do the complete opposite. So I'm not selling low on AJ Brown and buying high on Rome Odunze. I'm anticipating this is a DJ Moore week.
Okay, that's fair. I'll be in the minority. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you will.
Now, where are we at? So we need a running back, tight end, flex. So we obviously need an elite running back here.
Yeah. I put the Saints defense in there for shits and giggles, but that's more so to see how we shake out cost wise at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah.
So I would say like elite running back. Obviously, Bijan Robinson should be the most owned. I wouldn't like. I'm also not opposed to going with a Tyler Algier, because this is an incredible matchup for Algier as well. And that way we get to attack an elite tight end and an elite flex, and an elite defense. That way, if those 2 tertiary running backs hit, we have probably the most unique lineup. So up to you guys. But elite running back territory, I'll let you guys decide on that. As for tight ends, I don't know if you guys want to go elite direction or if you guys want to go tertiary direction, but I like what we currently have.
Running back, I'm kind of feeling Jonathan Taylor. I'm not sure what you're thinking, Pete.
Yeah, he had a really monster week last year against them. I do think Tennessee's defense is a little bit better than their secondary. Not that good. Their front 7 is pretty good. So I'm not in love with Taylor. Taylor also destroyed Denver last week because their linebackers are terrible. I mean, it's terrible. If I would rather Bucky Irving over Taylor. Bucky's projected ownership is 13% right now.
I can skate with Bucky. We can do that.
And honestly, we're probably going to be able to get another elite guy in the flex, because we have 14,000 left. Even an elite tight end, Bowers, if you just chalked it up to Bowers, is at 6,000. We're still going to have more. We're going to have 8,000 left to spend. So, just pick who do we think is the tight end 1 this week? I mean, that's how
Bowers.
So then, yeah, Bowers it
Sure.
is, right?
Yeah.
Bobby
Yep.
Wagner looks really slow, so I think Bowers is going to be able to.
That's true. That's a good point.
I think he's going to be able to run wild. So now you have what 8,300. Do you look
Yeah.
for maybe a stack? Do you throw BTJ in here, take Jennings out, and maybe tier up a little bit? I mean, you get a little bit of a correlation in that game. I'm cool with doing either, but with 8,300, we might have a little bit of money left over to upgrade somewhere else.
Yeah, the reason why we have 8,300 is because
Saints.
it costs $2,300.
Yeah, it's a
So
good
we need to fix that.
Which we can. Yeah, I just put that there because again, I always like to kind of do that just to give me a perspective of what do I have left for my flex and how does that figure into the defense there and what I want to spend. And so that's kind of why I do that sometimes.
Now, my wide receiver one on the week is Puka, but it's very interchangeable with him and CeeDee Lamb. What's a $600 more expensive defense so we could potentially land Puka in the flex?
$600 more, you're going to probably get Commanders. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, which is fine with me.
What about the Raiders? I don't hate the Raiders.
We took the Raiders last. We can go Raiders and we get a little bit of money saved on that, I think. Raiders are
they're 20. They're also 2,300.
Okay, so then you can
just like the Saints.
Then we can take Puka at the flex and we can tier up.
I like Puka.
By the way, we can do whatever we want, but this is just to go back to my point earlier. Was say we hear something not good about Juwan Jennings, and let's say we want to go Ricky Pearsall. Now I know we switched out quarterback, so it's not as
advantageous.
Yeah. But just putting that out there. But we can do whatever you guys want here. We got 600 remaining.
Well, we don't need Helani right now, and I think Helani is the only question mark. So let's go back to the RB situation there and try to see if we could tier up at a tertiary option. So I'm very curious what Hampton's cost is here because this is not available.
I think 5,500 or something like that.
Okay, that's okay. So running backs,
56. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll scroll down to the 4,600 range.
Getting there. Here we go.
Not many good options there, I'm assuming.
I mean, no. Well, fuck. I was gonna say, could we put Tyler? We could. The craziest thing is we could get Tyler Warren, but we can't because we still need a running back. Fuck.
I think there is upside for McNichols, but I think it's too soon, especially since he's coming off of injury. I think Willie Marks has the most upside in this tier right now out of these backs. I mean, Benson would be the ideal player, but I'm not playing him against San Francisco because I don't even like James Conner against San Francisco. Caleb Johnson, who would have told you that it was always Jalen Warren? It wasn't me, right?
Jalen Warren, player profiler has Jalen Warren projected his upside at like 28 points this week. I have him as a top 15 back. I love Jalen Warren this week.
Okay, so
you could go Kenny Gainwell if you he's caught 4. I think he's got 4 targets.
Yeah, I don't
weeks.
hate Gainwell, but
no. Let's go Algier now. I know we're going to be up by 100, but we can fix it with the Jennings or Mooney pick here, or we can even tier down for Bucky Irving with somebody who has a plus matchup.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll take a look at Bucky.
Give me a second.
I mean, you could I know I have a lot of exposure to Tyler. To Warren, but I mean, you're going to save a lot more. I'd still rather an elite guy.
I mean,
I can't believe James Conner's 6,500.
Is it PPR? Because PPR.
It is PPR.
Okay,
yeah, my guy Peter.
Brees Hall's got a great matchup here, and he's not going to have his work taken away from him. We could also go K9, who is very affordable, and we could tier up from one more wide receiver from Darnell Mooney and get somebody better.
I go Javonte Williams here.
All right, go Javonte.
I know everybody's gonna hate that, but
okay.
I don't love it either, but go Javonte. Whatever. Let's just see how much we have left.
So $900. I mean, Javonte Williams. I mean, you look at those first 2 games: 20.4, 25 last week.
I'm fine. Bears defense is it's solid, average, but I think it's a high scoring game. Now at 900.
Is he more expensive than Kenneth Walker? Yeah, he is by 200.
Yeah, he's more expensive than
the lone back.
Hoff hates Kenneth Walker. He fucking hates him.
I know.
What, you want to go Kenneth Walker?
No, you're okay.
over.
This is your money. I'm just here.
I'm trying.
Well,
I'm
It's
trying.
actually my
think.
crowns, but whatever.
What
you know,
about
yeah.
What about Jennings? If we get somebody at 5,900, who
Yeah.
what other? Because we could move Puka. Puka could move to the wide receiver spot, and
Yeah.
so we could technically move Puka, and we can get anybody at 5,900. So
Yeah, let's do that. quick.
Pickens.
yeah, I
Let's
was gonna
go
say
over here.
Pickens too.
Pickens or
Yeah.
DJ Moore. Those are like I have DJ Moore as somebody who's going to absolutely explode this week.
Go to Pickens. Yeah, I was gonna say Pickens. I like Pickens too. Or what is
What was
Debo?
from
I like
Moore?
Debo too, but
Oh, I
just
like
out of
Debo too.
curiosity.
DJ Moore was
Debo might be too much too
5,400.
expensive. I think
DJ
Debo's
Moore's 5,400. Wow. So,
Debo 61. Just a.
I'd rather go. I think if you like DJ Moore, I might rather go him because you have Javonte, and I think CeeDee's gonna have big games. So we're banking on Javonte, CeeDee, and Pickens. To all three have big games. So I think I'm not in love with DJ Moore, but from a correlation standpoint. But now we're back to having another $500.
I mean, sometimes you're gonna have a little bit left on the.
Mooney's the next tier up.
Well, what about the defense? What about the defense? Is there a better
All right.
defense that we can go for?
I
mean,
don't know, Peter. You tell me. You're the defense guy. I was gonna say I do like DJ Moore over George Pickens in terms of I feel like, and Pete, you have the ownership there, but I feel like Pickens is going to be more owned than a DJ Moore. I think DJ
Steelers are interesting. Texans are interesting. I'd rather Texans or Steelers over the Raiders, but
yes, Steelers is free money. This is
we can go Steelers. That's fine. I'm good with
this,
that.
This is a get right game. I'm telling you guys right now. Steelers is free money. That's
a
like sick lineup.
Stroud, Algier, Javonte Williams, Darnell Mooney, Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, Brock Bowers, DJ Moore, and the Steelers defense with no money left on the table. There you go, guys. We did it. We found a way to make a lineup and not leave a single dime on the table. I will enter that right meow. That is now in. There we go.
Well, hopefully Mooney and DJ Moore do really well for you this week because I want you to win some money.
Hey, how about that?
If we win it all, I get half.
Yeah, I'll contact you guys for sure.
Yeah.
I'll suspend my account and be out of here.
But tomorrow we'll be live. I don't know if I'll be on. Hoff will be here. I don't know. Disco, are you going live tomorrow?
I will be, but I'm also going live tonight.
Okay, cool. So you can find Disco at Big Draft Energy YouTube channel. I'll type it in the chat here. If you want to check out his live, Big Draft Energy. There you go. So if you want to check out Disco, he'll be live tonight. What time?
7 p.m. Eastern time. We're going through every game on the, but you don't need to plug me, man. It's fine.
Of course,
7 p.m.
Are you kidding me?
We're not going live tonight anyway. It's not like, you know.
Well, but just why
either way. But yeah, so he'll be live tonight. We'll be live tomorrow at 9:00. Hoff will be here. I don't know if I'll be here, but I'll do my best to make it. And yeah, good show. Disco, thanks for hopping on. Hoff, thanks for joining. And see you guys next time.